I'm going to show y'all how I cut my hair because I think it's too expensive to go to the salon and get it cut. Plus, I've never really left a salon and been super happy, so I just prefer to continue to do it at home. I do brush through my hair. I do this while my hair is really, really wet as well because that's going to help. You'll see why with my cutting technique. I also recommend using legit hair cutting scissors. These are pretty affordable if you go on Amazon or Sally Beauty Supply. Don't use kitchen scissors, crafting scissors. That is not, with this technique, those will not work and you're gonna damage your hair. I do prefer to cut with the middle part. When I style my hair, I sometimes do a middle part, but also I run my fingers through my hair pretty frequently after it's styled and just do any part. So I'm pretty comfortable with doing a middle part while cutting. I separate my hair into two sections, basically just splitting it in half. And then with that bottom section, I separate it into two, just the two sides of my head. And you're going to see when I'm not even cutting my hair, I'm literally just dragging the scissors through. And that is how I prefer to cut because I don't like blunt ends. Now, I have fairly thick hair, so if you have thin hair, you may prefer the blunt ends because that makes it look thicker. But yeah, hopefully you can tell that I'm not actually closing. I never close the scissors while I cut my hair. I just use the sharpness and my hair is really wet, so it makes it a lot easier. And that in combination with the sharpness of the scissors, I just glide down. I also like a V taper in the back. So you can see here halfway through, I check how that is looking. I want it to look like a V in the back or a U, whatever. Either one works for me, but more so a V. And I want really thin ends. That's what I just prefer. Now I pull down the top section and I have the two separate parts up here as well. And I look at the bottom layer that I did and see where I need to cut the longest part of this top section. So with this layer, that's where I start, just so I have a little guideline to follow. Like that is going to be the longest part of this section. And then starting at like beneath my chin, I will just drag my scissors down. Keep going on both sides. The right side is a little bit harder just because of how you have to hold the scissors, but because I'm right-handed. And then I do pull back the bulk of my hair and have like my little curtain or side bangs and just cut those to where I want them. Again, I'm not cutting, I'm just gliding the scissors through. Check my work and you can kind of see that there's longer pieces at the end. So I noticed that, so that's why I started trimming those thinner pieces out because it looks kind of odd otherwise. So cut those out, just drag my scissors. Yeah, that's literally all I do. And this is all the hair that I cut off. Actually much shorter than where I started. And then this is it after I've styled it with the Wavy Talk.